Welcome to homework on 9-10 for Miss Bailey, Miss Henderson, and Mrs. White. If you'll go to problem number 2, we're going to look at, we have to simplify. So that means we're going to put all my b's together and all my regular numbers together for example 2, for problem 2. So here I have a b, and here we have negative 2b. Okay? So I have b minus 2b. Now remember, this b is the same thing as 1. Okay? And on the other side, what I have going on is I have this in the middle, our regular numbers. So I have negative 3 or minus 3 plus 6 or positive 6. So if I'm looking at 1b, take away 2b, that's actually, if you do it on your calculator, going to give you negative 1b. So negative b. And negative 3 and negative 6, positive 6, since they're opposites, they're going to cancel each other out. You really subtract. You have more positives. So it's going to be positive 3. So my final answer for number 2 is going to be negative b plus 3. Okay, looking down at number 7, it looks hard, but it's not as hard as you think, guys, because it tells you right here what you're looking at. X is equal to 15 when y is equal to 8. So you're just going to plug your numbers in. Y is 8, so we have 8 for our y. And then it says plus y again, which is another 8. This time, we're going to do it the x, which is 15. So 8 times 15. So following order of operation, I want to go ahead and multiply this first. 8 times 15. Do it on your calculator if you have to. Pause the video. But 8 times 15 is 120. So bring down the rest. So 8 plus 120 is equal to 128. Make sure you circle your final answers. Okay? That's this. Problem 7 is in our second section. So let's see what we have next. Number 10. Remember, you have a number outside of the parentheses. So this is our distributive property, our hippity-hoppity. So our hippity, so we're going to multiply by negative 10. And then our, whoops, what happened to my mouse there? Hoppity. Distributive property. So we're going to multiply. Okay? Negative 10 times a. Negative 10 times a is just going to give me negative 10a. Now when I go to do my hoppity, negative 10, it's times negative 5 because the sign in front of the number belongs with the number. So negative 10 times negative 5. Do it in your calculator. Don't guess. Negative times a negative is a positive. So I'm going to get positive 50. That's your answer right there. Make sure to circle your final answer. That's all you can do. You cannot put those together because one's an A, one's a regular number, or unit number. Moving on, number 16, we're actually given an equation. And in 16, I want you to actually solve for P. This equation reads negative 40 is equal to negative 5 times P. So if I'm trying to solve for this P here, and they are multiplying by negative 5, I got to do the opposite. I need to undo it. So I want to divide by negative 5. If I do it to one side, I have to do it to the other side. So I'm going to divide by negative 5. Keep the sign with it. The sign in front of the number belongs with the number. Okay? The negative 5's go away, and I'm left with P. is equal to, do it on your calculator, negative 40 divided by negative 5. A negative divided by negative is a positive. I get positive 8. Positive 8 is my answer. Okay, let's look at the one more problem in our last examples. Okay, let's look at problem number 20. Everybody find problem 20. Okay. Problem 20 is actually an inequality this time, but we're going to do it the same way as an equation. I have 9 plus n is greater than negative 4. Again, I'm solving for the n, so I have to do the opposite. What's different, though, is we have the 9 in front. There's no sign in front of it, and since there's no sign in front of it, that means it's a positive 9, or that's 9. How am I going to get rid of 9? To get rid of 9, I actually have to subtract 9. If you do it to one side, you have to do it to the other side. So the 9's went away and left me with n is greater than, now over here, be careful on the calculator, it's negative 4 minus 9, or negative 4 plus negative 9. Because what you're doing here is you're putting these together, and a negative cannot take away another negative. So I'm really going to add them together, and they're going to keep the sign. So I get negative 13. There's my answer. Now I have to show that on the number line. To show it on the number line, my circle is going to be at negative 13. But is it going to be open or is it going to be closed? I believe it's on page 25 of your ISN. Well, we're actually going to leave it open because it does not include negative 13. It was not equal to negative 13. But n can be anything greater than 13. And if it can be anything greater than 13, I have positives this direction, negatives this direction. So that means I want to go toward the positive numbers. So I'm going to go to the right to the bigger numbers. This was your homework help for Wednesday, 9/10. I hope this was helpful for you. See you next time.